Okay, the next one I'm going to move on to is this guy, the one that I kind of like stole from TikTok and then kind of changed some stuff up. If I like had more time or wanted to do another one or something, I would probably go in and like add like a little bit of shading down in here, maybe add a little bit of color, something like that going on. So you guys have the freedom to do that if you choose to do this one, or you can just kind of leave it similar to mine, you know. It all depends on how many points you want. Okay, so I've got my lovely little square of paper, and then I'm just going to go in and kind of draw some kind of like curvy line thing going on. I'm sure you guys have all seen this on TikTok, so you know where we're going from there. We're going to draw little dots, and you kind of want to like vary the size a little bit. Have some little chunky ones, some bigger ones, maybe a little midget one. And I kind of screwed myself over. I'll just leave that one and go on the edge. Okay, so if you look at what I did on this first one, I didn't have like a lot of very big ones, and I kind of didn't like that very much. So I think that this time I'm going to go in and kind of focus on adding some of those bigger shapes because I just like it. So then literally all you're going to do is you're going to take this guy and then just start drawing lines. And they don't have to be like, you know, perfectly connecting or anything. They can get a little bit wild if they want to. And then I'll go over here, kind of connect that guy. So I did get a little bit wild with this one over here, and that's fine. Have fun with it. And then maybe I want this guy to be just a little bit straighter. Maybe I want to like add like another line on the inside. And I think I'll make this guy pretty round. Maybe add another one that kind of comes in there. And if you don't want to connect one of those, like you don't have to connect it down to that little edge over there. You can just kind of pretend like it's going off the edge of the paper. And maybe it is, who knows? Okay, so see how I don't really have like all that terribly much like of those darker areas going on in there. I noticed that before when I was doing this that I didn't really have like all that much stuff going on. So one thing you can do is you can like kind of connect these lines just a little bit more, go back over them, which I think kind of looks like crap right now. Or as you go along, you can like kind of almost add a little bit of shading and just kind of like pull some of that in just a little bit. And it's like you're not really like going over the line again. Really, you're just kind of like adding like little strokes of like darker things to kind of pull it in. Okay, so from here, I'll probably add like a couple more little strings. Where do I want to go? I think I'll probably come down through this guy, back down and over. So then I'll work on this one. Oh, that's not cute. And then if you have like a weird little section right there, that's okay. Just like go in and like add some little stringy guys. And then you can add like little ones kind of pretending like they're behind that. So at this point, when you've started to kind of get some things like filled up a little bit, you can go in and like either like randomly start adding things, like random little strings kind of a thing. Or you can keep focusing on whatever string it is that you were working on before. Man, that didn't make any sense. I really hope that I figure out how to just kind of like speed up these things so I can just like drown out the dumb comments that I make. I think I'll add another string coming up over here. I really do not like this one. Maybe another string will help it. Or 3. I don't think it helped it. Alright, so then I can go in and I can really start to like just kind of fiddle around with it. So I can draw lines from like one to the next and just kind of follow those. So when I'm doing this one, that's when I really started to get some of those like darker areas in there where I could really kind of like pull some of that out a little bit. Because if you see, I already kind of have that like crevice that's like going down in there. So as I go in and add like more and more strings, I keep adding more and more to whatever was already there, making it darker. Oh, that's not cute. And then I think I'd probably go in and like add some more like little tiny guys. Because I kind of liked how that looked with some of these like little baby areas in there. Well, and I also have a circle going on, so I got to figure out how to break that up. Sorry, I'm working off the frame over here. So now I'm just kind of looking back at some of those other areas that I can make a little bit better. Pulling some of those lines in just a little bit to kind of like add to that sense of things disappearing. It's okay. It's not horrible. Okay, so now I don't like how this one's turning out. I used a lot thinner of a tool over here and then kind of went back with a marker, kind of like this thick of a marker on this one, and kind of like filled some of that area in instead of having like some of these thicker lines, which I kind of like more because then you have more room to add more of those like little like kind of like hair things going on. So I don't know. But now I'm just going to go in and add like little flicks to really kind of make it look like it's like, you know, coming from an area where it's like going back and receding in a little bit. And literally all I'm doing is like adding like little tiny like strokes from my marker. And I'm kind of like trying to follow along where I've got that, like where the lines are going. And you want to like kind of vary how like many lines that you have and like the length of what they're doing. Sorry, I had to check the camera's battery real quick. Not too horrible. Could probably be better. But I'm going to go in and color in the background off camera since my battery is about to die. And then we will move on to the last one.